The nearly $350 billion relief program designed for small business owners suffering under the coronavirus outbreak is set to go into effect tomorrow, on Friday. So what should people know before applying for a loan? Well, CPA Gene Marks joins us right now from the Philly area. Gene, tell us a little bit about the Paycheck Protection Program that so many small businesses are looking at to protect the paychecks of their employees.
Sure thing, Steve. So listen, if you're watching this program and you're a small business owner, you're a friend of a small business owner, or a family member of a small business owner, this information is very, very important to you. Steve is right. There is something called the Paycheck Protection Program. It is part of the stimulus bill, and it is basically free money that the government is offering for you to use to see your business through this pandemic. You get the money from a bank. Most banks are participating, although I recommend a bank that is a member bank of the Small Business Administration. You can borrow up to $10 million. There's a formula based on your payroll, very low interest rates. But here's the thing, Steve. You get to submit at a certain point in time whatever expenses you had for payroll, for utilities, for mortgage interest, and for rent. And those amounts for a 2-month period will be forgiven as part of the loan, which basically means that the government is giving you funding to operate your business at least through June 30th, and hopefully there'll be an extension after that. So you want to talk to a banker about this. Particularly, I recommend a Small Business Association member bank, although Secretary Mnuchin says that many banks are available to participate. Talk to a banker now. Get your application in so you can apply for this loan. It may go a long way to helping you survive through this pandemic.
Well, Gene, yesterday on one of my 2 very long walks where I socially isolated myself from everybody in my neighborhood, I saw a small businessman who operates a jewelry store in my town, and asked him about what he was going to do. He said that he was probably going to be doing just exactly what you're saying to protect his employees. So it's critical that everybody who's interested do that. Is there a timetable on when that window closes for people?
It's a great question. So the program ends on June 30th, so you can apply up until then. But be careful. There is a fund, and the fund is limited. You had mentioned it's about $350 billion, which sounds like a lot, but a lot of small business owners are going to apply. Hopefully, though, the government will see to extend that fund, but right now we don't know. So it behooves you to get your application in as soon as possible. Also, Steve, a lot of the banks themselves, I know they're being inundated with applications, so they have a lot of work to do. So you have to get in the queue. You are going to be asked to provide certain documentation, prove your payroll expenses, your utilities, your rent expenses, and other things to come up with how much money is that you can have available for you. And then after the fact, you're going to need to submit documentation to get that forgiven. But it's very important that you get the ball underway now. And if you have questions, by all means, you can. I'm on Twitter. My Twitter address is Gene Marks. You can tweet me specific questions, and I can help you through the process if you need.
Well, that is terrific. And of course, the key for the government's incentive is to keep everybody on the payroll. And that's why if the businesses do just that, then the loans are forgiven. They don't have to pay them back. Meanwhile, just exactly 2 hours and 2 minutes from right now, Gene, the March jobs report is going to come out. There are estimates that the unemployment number could be anywhere from 3 to 5 million. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something in that range as well, like most economists are doing. And we could see an unemployment rate, Steve, close to 30%, which is unprecedented since the time of the Depression. But honestly, my angle, Steve, is that this is going to be a short-term thing. We know that there is an ending to this, and most of the small business owners that I talk to know that there will be back to work and a recovery sometime in the next few months, which is why, by the way, the stimulus program is designed the way it is. It's designed to get small businesses in particular who employ more than half the people in this country through this wave so that they can navigate themselves and then recover afterwards and get back to work.
Okay, so just for folks who are watching, 2 hours from now, the weekly jobless claims, and tomorrow at the same time, the monthly number. All right, Gene Marks, thank you very much. And once again, if people are interested in asking you a question on Twitter, what's your handle?
It's Gene Marks, GeneMarks, and I'm on Twitter, and I've been answering hundreds of questions this week, so feel free to tweet at me, and I will do my best to answer your question specifically.
Well, thanks for answering my questions specifically. Gene Marks, thank you, sir.